Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. What makes a picture creepy? Is it the items or characters in it, like in Reddit's cursed images? Is it the state of the picture, like in a photo album where termites have gone wild? What about the strange appearance that wasn't there when the photo was taken? How about all of the above and then some? Today we're talking about not only pictures that are scary on their own, but also seemingly innocent pictures with creepy backstories that will have your jaw on the ground. But before we get started, why not become an archivist today by clicking that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. If you end up enjoying this video, let us know by giving it a thumbs up, and in the comments section, tell us of some other pictures that have creepy backstories.
Number 10. All fun and games until... This picture looks like fun and games, like a photo you might have taken with your siblings when you found a good moment of static. Clearly, there was a lot of energy in the air, but perhaps they weren't expecting what came next. In the picture, we see Michael McQuilkin on the right with his brother Sean. They're at Morro Rock in California in 1975. Can you picture the bell-bottom pants they must be wearing? Moments after taking this photo, that energy manifested into a bolt of lightning that actually struck them. Don't worry, they both survived, but they had severe burns and had a really long road to recovery. Goes to show, if it seems like there's too much static in the air, there probably is. So go inside. Number 9. The OMAGH car bomb. Aw, father and daughter out on the town. A particularly orderly-looking town, too. In this picture, the cars seem to perfectly align with each other, as do businesses and homes. It all looks like a perfect day in the perfect Irish town of Omagh. As in our previous picture, what happened after the photo was taken is what's truly surprising. The red car in the photo actually held a bomb which infamously exploded and injured almost 250 people and killed close to 30. This was during an IRA ceasefire and was done by a splinter group who didn't abide by it. If we go by the picture, that was a beautiful sunny day when everything looked perfect, but if we go by the story, it was much more tragic. Number 8. Helping Hand. This is one of the scariest for me. First of all, because, wow, this family had a lot of kids. How did they even sleep at night? Also because if you look really closely, one of these hands doesn't belong. Notice everyone's hands are either visible or far enough away from the toddler on the far left. That's not a daddy hand, that's not a mommy hand, and that's definitely not anyone else's hand who's actually in the picture. So whose tiny little hand is holding on to baby sister? We have no idea. Neither does the family. Maybe it's photoshopped. Yes, I hear you, angry commenter. Maybe it is, but what if it isn't? Just sit on that for a moment. Number 7. Post-horror film face. Number 7 on our list is inexplicable and sincerely haunting. I can't even look at it for too long without starting to shake a little. The photo depicts a simple story. A woman returning a video to a service that offered something similar to Netflix. She's standing in front of the box where one would insert the DVD to return it. The lower half of the picture was very normal. Just a woman in front of a glorified DVD vending machine. However, the face. Oh, the face. How is her neck bending like that? What kind of exorcism is happening at this convenience store? Why is no one rushing to help her? It's absolutely terrifying. There's no possible explanation I can think of. All I can say is perhaps she watched a really frightening film and was simply never the same. Number 6. The Real Annabelle. Dolls are already scary enough as it is. Why on earth we give them to children is beyond me, but that's beside the point. Remember the doll that made it into film fame in recent years? Annabelle? Well, she wasn't precisely made up. This is the photo of the original doll. a Raggedy Ann doll who now sits in a closed cabinet with a very British, positively do not open sign. The doll seems pretty innocent, but in her youth, she was dangerous. She was known to come after the children in the house, pulling them out of their bed at night by their feet. However, instead of throwing her away or burning her to unrecognizable ashes like a sane person, they've kept her in this museum of haunted things underneath a crucifix. Would you dare to visit? Number 5. Tyler Hadley and his after party. This photo shows a type of sweaty Friday night photo from a high school party. Perhaps that's all it was, at least for everyone besides Tyler on that night. For him, it might have been an attempt at creating an alibi or even a way of coping. See, Tyler had, not long before that photo was taken, brutally murdered his parents. For 3 hours, he cleaned up the mess of the murder, though barely, and then invited all his friends over to drink and party. The bodies were hidden in a bedroom, and perhaps he could have gotten away before being caught, but he didn't seem to be in a hurry. Several friends noticed some grime all over the house, but figured it was just a dirty house and carried on partying. At one point, he told a friend about his terrible doings, a friend who luckily quickly tipped off the police. Hadley is still in prison to this day, but this photo remains as proof of how dark some people can be, carrying out a full house party where they killed their parents. Number 4. The Columbine photo. I love looking back at my high school photos and thinking about what I did during those 4 years. I love seeing my friends and even people I didn't like so much at the time. Those were the days. But this isn't a regular class picture. As goofy as it looks, there's a corner of the photo where we see some kids fake shooting towards the camera. Those kids would later become the Columbine shooters. They went into their school and shot dozens of their classmates, also pictured in the class photo. Almost 2 decades later, I'm sure no one who was in that photo or knew anyone in it enjoys looking at it. Were there signs there? How strict should staff be about the fake violence pictured in a class photo? Hindsight is 20/20, I suppose. When tragedy strikes, it's hard to look back at the photos that foretell the story. Number 3. Body hanging from the ceiling. Imagine you get your photos back. Oh, just you and your family at a gathering. You had all smushed together for a quick photo and continued on with your night. Then, a few days later, you see the picture and, what do we have here? A hanging body? This is worse than when someone forgot to tell you that you have lettuce stuck in your teeth. Nobody told us there was a hanging body in the back of our photo. Rude. In this case, the woman had set the camera on a timer and sat down to take a picture with their kids. When the photo came back, well, you get the picture. Number 2. Death photography. Our relationship with death has become more and more complicated and distanced over the years. There were times, not too long ago, when people would die in their own homes, in their own beds. It was just natural. It still happens, of course, in some countries, but in the United States, most people die in a hospital or retirement home. Before, people would spend time with their loved ones before moving them to their permanent resting place. They'd hug and kiss them, which sometimes led to the spreading of diseases, but that's beside the point. This photo shows how in the 19th century, people would take photographs with their deceased loved ones before they sent them away. Since photographs had to be taken with slow shutter speeds, it was hard for people to remain still long enough to be portrayed well. For everyone, that is, except the dead person. Too dark? Okay. But seriously, in this photo, we see the woman is perfectly still and is the only person who appears clearly in the photograph. Would you take photographs with your dead relatives? Number 1. Autograph for the assassin. This photo is interesting on so many levels. First of all, yes, that's John Lennon signing an autograph. So far, so good, right? What if I told you that the fan who's receiving the autograph is named Mark David Chapman, and hours later, he'd murder Lennon? Suddenly, that blurry figure in the back looks a lot more dangerous and mysterious, doesn't he? That's right. Chapman approached him for an autograph on his way to the studio, and after recording for the very last time, Chapman killed him with a gun. The strange, sad, demented man stayed there until police arrived, where he was arrested willingly. He said the cause of the attack was Lennon saying that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus, which he claimed was a blasphemous remark apparently worthy of murder. Talk about creepy. I wonder why he even asked for an autograph in the first place. Thanks for watching. Got any photos of your own that have interesting backstories? Tell us about them in the comments section. To always get fresh new videos from Top 10 Archive, be sure to subscribe, click the notifications bell, and we'd appreciate you giving this video a like.